Hello, everyone. Welcome to the George Hadley Show. This is going to be a show like no other, I would say. This is like Brum's very own Anton Deck. hang on. Before we get there, I do need to say one thing. I've wrote down that I was going to do a shout out to Sigil first, and I was just about to go into the introduction, so I need to just Tom, Poppy. Obviously, what you guys are doing at the moment is so good. It's so good. So just keep doing it, man. I know it takes like a lot of work and a lot of time, but you're just smashing it, man. So just wanted just to get that in there. So I can clip that and then response for a look. Look, I'm a nice guy, man. I'm a nice guy. We've got none other than the original OG, bigger than Barry crew, Bobby Barnes, Samuel Spencer, Bayliss with 1S. We're good, man. We're good. How are you two?
Straight away, I'm going to come in like the Reese 3 normally.
Yeah.
McInerney is part of the game, but it's lambing season at the moment. So he's busy on the farm in the west of Ireland, in Northern Chiles.
Last time we were seeing it was north of Galway. In a set of Hunter Wellies in a Chile. I hope you're all right, Kurt. Just let
Reach out.
Reach out.
If anyone sees him, just, get in touch, man. We need to make sure he's all right. So, looking back, I've gone through, like, YouTube stuff. I've got, oh yeah. Oh, I've gone in.
It's not really that segmented,
There was something I saw earlier, which was like Bobby had gone missing. Is this a regular occurrence between the crew, the people?
No, it turned on.
Typical Barry, man. Typical Barry.
Was it not on? Oh, okay, we're all good.
Room's closed now. Better? We're good? Thank you.
Very breathy now. So, you've gone missing. But
I was on hiatus. I think that was it. Finding myself in up a mountain in Nepal or something like that at the time. So, just need a breather.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it, So, Kieran's probably going through something very similar right now.
Absolutely.
Sam, have you done that as well, or...?
No, I've always stayed strong, man. I always stay strong. Always been out. You know what? Can I just say, I haven't been behind a set of decks with a mic in my hand for about a long, long time. Anyway.
What tunes coming to mind? Is it Pow, Lethal Bizzle?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah. Just saying here for the weekend all the time as well, like over and over again.
A bit more for crew who are on this weekend at Hadley Social.
That was pretty good, man. You've still got it, man.
Plug in. Promo for life, isn't it?
Okay, I think what I want to do is just sort of get the idea of why and how this all started, how you two met, how this whole event thing and parties all really kicked off, I always find it really fascinating that suddenly you're just like, fuck, we need to put something on, or we need to get a load of people in a room, play a load of tunes. So what was it, and like that time, what year, when was it really kicking off for you guys?
It's a long time ago. No, we've been friends for a very long time, since we were kids, really, like little kids. Met partying. And then, just like tried to put parties on for a long time. Bobby had a successful weekly indie party in Solihull on a Thursday night. But we were always like into garage and stuff and bassier stuff. And
it's a good party, and it's good.
Yeah. We happened upon it, didn't we, I imagine? But go on, you can have your spin.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, we've been mates for years before, and then we thought we were rock stars. Well, Sam was a rock star. I thought I was a rock star, but wasn't. We were going to indie nights, and then we were going to like garage nights as well, and we loved both of them, but we were like, it'd be nice if there was a bit of both, and all the stuff that we wanted to listen to and our friends wanted to listen to, and with Key again, we just kind of got our heads together, and we were really keen to like do this party and kind of have a real mashup DIY party. And like we really wanted a name for it, and then we come across like it was like slap and pow and and all of these Stingy Letter, and I think Sam in. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was a late night one or.
I was actually on MySpace, and I saw a picture of. Do you remember the band Phoenix? Phoenix, the band, little French disco-y thing. They had like the one geezer had Bigger Than Jesus t-shirt.
Nice. Okay.
So I was like, Bigger Than Jesus, and then I was thinking about the name, and I was like, Bigger Than, I like that. And then it just come into my head, it was like Barry Austin. I was like, we're gonna do a party bigger than Barry.
And hang on, Barry Austin is a big guy.
He's a big fella.
He's a big dude.
And it was just like the Birmingham thing.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. What a legend. But yeah, so that's it was literally just like it made I giggled to myself. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking pitch this one to the lads, like, you know, and
knowing it's a winner, knowing you've got it,
yeah.
you know.
And it was just a fucking off the cuff thing, but it worked so well for the. We're all about having fun and not taking things too seriously, and it just reflected that perfectly and had that Birmingham twist about it as well.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who we were on about.
Who Barry Austin was.
Yeah, but like you have to explain it to non-Brummies, like you know. But it was it was just fucking. It just suited it, didn't it? It was just perfect.
It would be like the equivalent now. Would that be like White D?
Because he was the fattest man in the UK at the time.
Not like a fat thing, but like, you know, like that kind of celebrity level.
Oh, like, okay, Brummy, White D. It's White D, then,
Yeah. Just, you know, if any youngsters are thinking about, you know, just get in touch, man. In terms of like the indie gigs that you do, I've been thinking, you know, looking back at the pictures, I was trying to work out where I was in that time as well. And I was going through tunes. I was going through some tunes today and I was thinking, fuck, I'm going to throw some bands at you and you've got to tell me if they're in or are they out.
Okay. What, like, they're real or not? Or
No.
True or false?
No, like, was you listening to these at that point and are you feeling it? Like, this week, I've been blasting, remember White Lies?
White Lies, yeah, true.
I've been going mad on White Lies this week.
Yeah, fine.
I feel like Klaxons would have been...
Klaxons were pretty big. So part of what we kind of fell upon was this I suppose, new rave seemed to be the bit between the indie and the kind of garagey grime stuff, grindy, and it just, I mean, I wouldn't say that we were like heavily neoned new rave kids, but it just had the energy that we were feeling at the time, you know. I think, which was a bit of that indie and the merging in, and I think a lot of it was around energy, and you know, just it was pretty sweaty back then, you know. I think all of the ones, like the first ever party we did at the King Edward down by the fire station in town, up there's, you know, like 150 mates around Christmas, and I mean it was sweaty when it was we were armed with CDs full of LimeWire rips, and it was just utter chaos, and it all stemmed from there. We made a bed sheet in my mum's living room with the Barry sticker that then became, like, you know, the iconic, somewhat iconic backdrop to the decks, like with masking tape. So we just tried to keep that DIY thing going.
Do you find that, you know, sort of like, you know, you've got a lot of love for like indie music, and I know you've been in some bands. Actually, with Sam, the first time I knew of Sam was, I think he was on, I've told you this off my rocker, I know it. Channel 4.
Channel 4, yeah. Orange Unsigned.
That's it, yeah. Scarlet Harlots.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. That was around the time, it was all like the same, it all crossed over, you know, it was like, yeah, we were part of that sort of punky, DIY, dancey crossover, trying our best to do that. It was fucking hard, but like that was our thing, you know.
But for me then, I remember like watching that, and you know, you get bands from like, you know, London, Brighton, all this. Then obviously you guys turned up. I was like, fucking hell, check these out. Like I like that. Do you know what I mean? I only really sort of knew probably like, you know, like the Twang, Streets, Ocean Colour Scene, that kind of thing. And then I saw you guys on the telly. I was like, yeah, man, I'm having a bit of that. Yeah. Never seen you play like.
I think there was a bit of movement that come with it as well, wasn't there? Obviously, South Scarlet Harlots and like the whole like tantrums piece, like that sort. There seemed to be like you know, this Birmingham thing, like the B-Town sound, and it, I mean, like a lot of things in Birmingham, didn't quite make it through to like, you know, I think Birmingham's always had that a little bit, you know, it's never quite reached with its band scene what like the Manchesters and etc. have done. So.
I mean, why do you think that is? Or is that like a really boring question?
I just think it's a bit political, isn't it? It just we lack the like infrastructure really. There's no solid record label. There's no representation, like management-wise. There's no booking agent as such. It's just very DIY. It's very grassroots, and then it doesn't go beyond that.
Yeah. Do you think it almost feels like a cult classic kind of thing? You know, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think like locally it does, yeah. But like, you know, we had to go down to London to get representation.
Yeah.
And then no one touches you if you ain't got a management. I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but like with streaming and that, it's so numbers based now. But back then, like trying to be in a band, it was you had to get signed and be a manager, have a manager, sorry. You're not getting looked at if you ain't got those things. So, and it's all in London, or there's probably a bit in Manchester, but we just lack that. We just haven't got that infrastructure there, that space for artists to flourish, really.
Yeah.
That's why, like, the likes of, like, Mark Skinner and that, they move out, they go to London. You know, it's generally the gist of things.
I get
It's pretty shit, really, but, you know, it's just the reality of Birmingham.
Do you have... Do you want to get back to the fun? Yeah.
You asked, George. You asked the question.
No, sorry.
Your fault.
So, you know, when you guys first started out and you was started off bigger than Barry, where was that first party and how did you sort of market that to people? How did you promote that? What was your tactics?
Do you remember?
MySpace.
It was MySpace, man, yeah.
Always.
So it was King Edward's, where Bobby said on the roundabout by the fire station.
Have you got it locked off at that point? You're having it off.
Yeah.
I mean, the first party was just literally 100 mates, you know, and I think it all mates of mates and mates of mates of mates, and yeah, it was just. Yeah, I think it was around Christmas, and it was just a bit of like
good start.
I don't think we were particularly
think
we were particularly thinking it would be like anything at that point. We just wanted to have a party. Play the music we wanted to play with all our mates, and just get on it basically. I think was probably the gist, and we did really well. Yeah. Like, we were really, really good at having fun and like getting a bit wild with it.
How old was you then? Sorry if you...
I'm going to say, so we did a thing, or I did a thing around Christmas suggesting that it was the 20-year anniversary, but turns out it wasn't. I'm just really bad at maths. So is that 18 years ago? So what that make us? 22? 22, 23. So you know, pretty fresh. And then yeah, we did a couple of parties there. Started throwing in some like fancy dress things just to like.
Pikey Rave was there?
Yeah, the Pikey Rave. not very PC, but that was where we were, you know. And
bring it back. It's coming back.
And then we went to the Rainbow, didn't we? You know, I think the guys had just taken over the Rainbow. I think we'd done about 4 or 5 parties at King Edward.
The Below parties there.
Yeah, that was it.
Below was like class, weren't it? I mean, you're trying to begging to get in on a Sunday afternoon. So fucking battered boot. At this point, when we started Barry and that period, like Digbeth was fucking proper bookie, weren't it? It was like, you know, and that was part of the charm. Everything that we did. I remember Shelton coming into the fucking garden, going mental because we were playing rips of like fucking tracks off like LimeWire and that, and he was absolutely fuming. He was so angry, but we just didn't give a fuck. But that was part of the whole like environment. Then, you know, it was very, very raw, and very personal as well. I think like we were just it was friends of friends, like Bobby said, and I can't remember that fucking first. The first Rainbow one. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure the first Rainbow one. There was the roof leaked halfway through. Because I think we put Toddler. I'm pretty sure that was the first one. Maybe not, but one of the first ones. It was a heady time, George. It was was pretty lively. And we booked Toddler, and he was playing, and the roof started leaking. So we had someone had an umbrella, luckily, and we had the umbrella over the decks. And then someone started playing Rihanna Umbrella, which was like very poignant at the time. But I think I mean, me and Macca had probably already been carried out at this point anyway. So that was pretty much how it went.
It sounded like it went that way. We don't know what happened when you was there. Like,
Yeah.
That's class, man. What was so say for Toddler T? At that point in his career, he's probably like is he sort of starting out then? Is he?
He's starting. His fee was quite low. I remember seeing him because he had the vinyl thing, didn't he, with the little record box thing? Serato, yeah. And I can remember just seeing him, just like he couldn't believe what he was seeing in the crowd. Like he was absolutely blown away by the energy of the crowd. Yeah. It couldn't have been the first one because it was like that. Everyone was so up for it. But anyway, he dropped like fucking. Zombie and like some really like weird like glitchy like hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just going down a treat like and you could just see the pure like he was just buzzing off it so much, and then that was our relationship pretty much cemented in on that night. And we had a great like relationship with him, didn't we?
He's a good dude, man. I've managed to I've done 2 gigs with him in the past, and like he's always mentioned you guys. I've had Merkage Dave mentioned you guys before. I know you've done stuff with One Man as well. So you give like it's similar sort of artists, and like, they've always got some load of love going towards you guys.
We got Annie Mac as well, didn't we? Do you know about that? The Annie Mac party? Do you know that one?
Yeah. Well, I watched the video earlier. But you should tell everyone.
Go on.
So we like you're saying, we did some load of stuff with Toddler, and it just matched the energy. You know, I think that was it. That's why we kept booking him, because we weren't really at that stage. We weren't really booking people to sell tickets. We were just like, we just wanted to have a party, you know, and like hang out with good people and have a good time. And then Toddler got bigger, and we were getting bigger at the same time. And Toddler started seeing Annie, and you know, she's like, I really want to come play the party. You know, met her a couple of times, and we're like, but obviously I'm Annie Mac and I'm massive, so like I can't just I can't just come and play the party. So we had to do it as like a secret show, like the worst kept secret. It was like the Steel City Skanky versus the Dublin Destroyer that we like just told everyone, you know. We just told everyone, like, but just not online where the agent.
There's like 4 people in the crowd that didn't know. Like, this is really insane.
And it was bedlam, you know. Like it was out the back of, it was in the Rainbow Garden at the time, and like, you know, again it was pretty raggo. And
we did a show. We played, didn't we? Scarlett's played.
Yeah, I think was that that one, was it? Yeah, and
it was in the shed. They were in the shed, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, it was just crackers again. It was like, you know, we had to like put security guards in front of the stage, like holding the barriers, because it was just people were just going nuts, like in a really good way. But yeah, it was pretty wild.
People were crazy back then as well. Looking back, people are quite chilled now, aren't they? Really, like the youngsters are chilling.
I think it's quite reserved now, and it's a bit more reserved. And I think there's a bit more like shame. He's just there, and it's like, so you do something wrong, someone flips out a phone, it's online forever. Like we weren't part of that. Well, we were just before all of that. That's Sarah's repeating on me, man. Yeah, we were just before all of that, so I think we were quite lucky in a way that we didn't get. We just cancelled.
So around that time, when you know, just actually when I think about it, how often was you doing the events? Was it like a once a month or?
Was it? I can't remember.
It wasn't once a month, but it was like we just picked like key dates, and we just had maybe like 5 or 6 a year, but we'd do like bank holidays and stuff like that. And we used to have a really good party on like the Thursday of Easter, didn't we? I remember we did a couple of stompers there, like draining the pool at the Medicine Bar, and then. But we also had Big Barry's Little Barry as well, which was was at the Bull's Head, like Adam Regan, like, you know, sorted us out, got us in there, but after a bit, it got a bit rowdy there as well. I don't think he could relax and leave us in there, so that finished. So and I think at that point we just we.
One time I didn't show up. It was a little Barry. We had a row on the phone.
That doesn't sound like...
We had a fight on the phone.
That doesn't sound like...
And it was lunchtime. And I went to the fucking Sunflower Lounge and had about 4 pints of Peroni. But blacked out. And it was daylight. And then woke up in my room and it was daylight. And I was like, who the fuck? What? I was like, what's happened? And
I think that was probably like, you probably had the CDs or something like that.
yeah.
There was a point where we were just sharing one bag of CDs of tunes. Or it was Sam's turn to burn them that day. So that was probably what that was. And then around that time we were on this upward trajectory. We were booking Toddler, and like Toddler was going and saying to other DJs on the scene, this party's great, you got to go and get amongst this. And we started booking some some really top talent like Scream and Banger, and we did like the Mad Decent party, which was like the biggest one we ever did.
That was a pinnacle, wasn't it?
About 4,000 in the pool, when like the good old days of Digbeth, when it was before it got branded as Digbeth. And I
remember Simon Jones.
You could have raves in the pool, that was when it was proper down there.
I remember Simon Jones, who owned like the Custard Factory at the time. He's got medicine now. I remember him saying after, I can't believe you've done that on 4 DJs. Yeah. Like he couldn't get over. It was like one of their bigger shows, over 2,000 people or whatever it was, and we did it on 4 DJs, and they have to do the whole bill of headliners and whatever.
How long was the event?
It was
just a normal night, like till 6 a.m. Like Rusco, he's unforgettable for me. I was in the pool, the sun's coming up. Rusco's playing a drum and bass set. It was just amazing. It was so good. I think that for me was definitely the highlight amongst many. But
it all went down now.
And then there was a lot of low lights. Sorry, man.
No. Like, I love hearing that, and I can't think which event I was at, but I was at a Custard Factory one, and all I remember is my outfit, which was weird. And I've got a picture with the
have those shoes on? Can we get the shoes on camera, please?
They're spicy, man.
Come on, look at them.
Half price Clarks, half price Christmas. I'll take that. It was either that or like you've got like cow print.
No, I think you made a good choice.
Yeah, man.
I go with anything.
I remember at that time wearing Lyland Scott. Lyland Scott was in for me. What would you have been sort of wearing? What was your outfits of that time? What do you remember? Like,
I think I wore the same American Apparel hoodie for about 4 years. It's purple. I really liked it. I really missed it. I saw some pictures the other day, and I just remembered how much I liked it. It didn't particularly fit very well. My jeans were probably below my bum as well at those. But yeah, that was. They started in the right position, but as the night went on, that was my thing. So
I had a very dusty Barber quilted jacket that I got second-hand in London, and I never used to take that off. And some I think I used to wear like winkle pickers as well, man. And then it changed. The American Apparel hoodie, that morphed. A lot of Lyland Scott. I'm sure Macca was heavy into the Lyland Scott, weren't it?
I think he was still into gilets back then.
He used to drop a gilet, man. That was for certain.
I don't remember gilet growing up. I just remember as I matured, it was around. So when was gilet?
He's the ambassador. He's the brand ambassador. Yeah.
So obviously your brand was getting bigger and bigger. Then was he going to Ibiza? Is that what? So I need to know what that's from.
Yeah. The first one.
That's a bit of a blur, isn't it?
Yeah, 2009, man, the first one. So I don't really remember setting up the first one.
At this point, was it like you get like Ibiza rocks, or would you have a club, or what was you doing?
The first one I remember was Tom Shorters was pretty much resident DJ with us, and he'd done a lot with like the kind of bassline scene. He'd done a few of these trips, and Andrea Moore, they had a girl who worked in an estate agent. Not stay at travel agents. Yeah, selling houses. And then and they pretty much pulled it together, and we put it on sale, and we got like 100 people, and that got pretty real pretty quickly. So like, what the fuck are we going to do with 100 people? Like we were probably 24, 25 or something at the time, and pretty loose as human beings, you know, we were not responsible in any way.
Like the Scarlets thing, I was on.
Yeah, so you were doing so we did this, and we went to Ibiza, and we stayed in. It was a shithole.
2-star, 1-star.
If you know, at best, and but then we kind of stayed a little bit down the way, and I don't know if that was intentional or.
We intentionally
Was that
stayed.
intentional? Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. And then, but we just kept getting phone calls. Like I think one time, like I got a phone call off someone's mum because like telling me that her son's trainers had been stolen, like in the other hotel, and I was like, I hadn't been to bed for 3 days. I'm like, I just don't know what you want me to do with that information, really. And then I think there was a fire.
There was a fire. We were chilling around by the pool with Toddler. So we were like, our excuse was we've got to look after Toddler. So we're going to be like 10 miles away. So we were in the bay, and then it's like lunchtime, whatever. It's fucking, what's that over there, man? Oh shit, there's a fire over there. Oh no way, there's a fire. Should we get another drink? Bobby's phone starts ringing. It's the fucking hotel, and everyone's in. Like. And then Corey slept through it, didn't he? One of our DJs. They all got evacuated.
And then the second time, like weirdly, like other people wanted to come again, and we went. That time we were in Ibiza Rocks, and that was a bit more organised that time, wasn't it? That was a really good week, actually.
Is that because of the Ibiza Rocks outfit that they've got? Like they've got a structure.
Yeah, they had a structure, so they organised everything for us. We booked through their platforms and got people to book, and then you're there, aren't you? It's a nice, clean hotel. There's good music all day.
Let's ruin it.
Yeah. So let's get 100 Brummies, land on it. But we were, but it was great. Like we were bringing. We had a collective in Paris that we used to do a lot of stuff back and forth. That we'd go over there, and they came over and they brought people. So it was this real like mishmash of people as well, coming from up north and everything, and it was just it was a really good time.
We did a boat party, and we did a boat party, and we had a meeting in April, right? So we went to Ibiza in April for a 30-second meeting. Like it was literally like, look at the boat, yeah, sound sweet, off we go. Literally that quick. And then it was the Icelandic ash cloud occurred. Yeah, so like what was meant to be a 4-day trip to Ibiza, get a bit pissed and whatever. We were fucking stuck on the Iberian Peninsula for 14 days, man. And it was amazing. There was 2 bars open in the bay. And the first night, Bob stayed in bed, and then me and Macca went out, and I can vaguely remember like karaoke and whatever. And anyway, don't really remember anything after. We went back in there the next night, and they're like, "You two, fucking get out now! Right, get out!" Like screaming at us. So we got barred at 50% of the bars that were open in San Antonio. So we decided to go to Barcelona, didn't we?
It was a joint decision between us and IB. But we need to get home. We were stuck in the ash cloud, and like we had parties like planned back home. And like after 3 days, we're like, we'll have a bit of crack. You know what I mean? We'll have a bit of fun. The 3 of us here. There's good story to tell. And then day 4, we're like starting to get a bit tired of each other, and we're like, and we need to get home. And everyone's a bit cranky and tired and a bit stressed. But we're like, we'll go to Barcelona. We had a mate, John Weaver, was in Barcelona. So we're like, let's get there.
Big up disco.
Bit of a culture thing. This would be a bit of a change of scene.
Yeah. So he was living in a studio apartment in Barcelona that needed 3 more
Needed
people.
To get trashed.
And then we were just like, we got a bit desperate then, and we were trying to get home, and then we went to Marseille. But we were having a lovely time every time we stopped off. We were like,
the lovely places, by the way.
Good.
Having a good time.
And then we went up to Paris and saw the Chateau Latouf boys as well, didn't we? Yeah. And then our mate Steve Woods, who was working for the Daily Star at the time, was like, I've got you on this coach coming home. It's going to be great. You'll be in the papers. There's going to be like all the page 3 girls on there and stuff like this. This is going to be brilliant. And anyway, as we got there, it was we got into Paris and went to the coach, and it turned out the Ash Cloud was over now, and it was old news. So it was just a coach. There was no crack. We didn't make any news. We were just tired and broke and needed to get home because the parties weren't selling at home. So it was.
It was a double whammy.
It was a bit of a double whammy. We had like a night in Leeds and a night in Birmingham, and neither of them were doing particularly well. And I think we were all just a bit stressed and a bit over it. Yeah. So
how would you market an event when you're in Paris now? What would you do? You just on the phone saying there needs to be posters.
I think it's easy now, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you really like you probably now if that happened you could like document your journey.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? You must just be sitting there on the coach thinking, what the fuck's going to happen?
We drank a lot of booze, didn't we? We drank a lot of booze and we were eating a lot of fucking tapas as well.
Yeah.
Just spending. But at first we were like, oh, should we do that? Do you need another starter? Like, and then he just fucking. In the end, it was like we had to get through it by getting very drunk.
How did it work with Leeds? Because I saw that you had quite a lot of events going on in Leeds. So did you have like a team up there? Did you have?
So Leeds, we had when we were doing it, and we were getting a bit of like notoriety in of the sound. You know, I think there was a bit of a movement with it, and then Danny Joyce was up in Leeds, big up Joycey, and he was like, yeah, we'll do it up here, and I was like, do you know what? I'll move to Leeds. You've got nice, and they had a student house with a spare bedroom, so I moved up there. I lived in like their cupboard or something like that, and we just got really lucky, didn't we? We did the Wire Club, and it was going really well, and then the Mint Club, which like probably the best small club in Leeds at the time, were like, do you fancy doing every week, every Tuesday? It's like that sounds mental, but yeah, why not? Let's have a go, and we booked, and we just built a bit of a crew up there again through Joyce's like mates that he'd made through uni, and some other people who were DJs that we'd worked with at various events and stuff like that, and it had a really successful like 3 years. It's probably it was pretty loose up in Leeds. They knew how to party on a Tuesday night up there.
So when was your event in Brum? Was that a Friday, Saturday, Thursday?
There was Saturdays, yeah.
So you've got a few days to
I don't think Brum's
recover.
ever really had a like big Thursday, Friday scene. As it, we did try a couple of times, didn't we? Lost a load of dough on that.
Oh, we did that. Yeah, we got hit a few times, didn't we? Around that time. Yeah, we didn't. Like, Birmingham was quite sporadic. It was like that 2009 Mad Decent show was a pinnacle, and then did we do the Big Bull after? Was that the year after?
That was the night with Benga.
Yeah, and like Joker and all of them, and it didn't do as well, did it? We went bigger on the lineup.
I think so, yeah.
And didn't do as many tickets.
Like the sound was starting to change.
Yeah. I think we'd not rinsed it, but like, this is where you go back to the infrastructure thing, that we were just so chaotic at that time. We weren't like, we had no sort of mentorship. There was no like, we didn't think to look to turn to anyone and go, hang on lads, we've got something here. And I was off doing stuff with the band, so.
Can I just ask as well, this is to do with the band as well, like how was your schedule? Because your schedule must have been fucking
Yeah,
nuts,
I sort of, at that point, I sort of stepped back a little bit. So I was involved in Birmingham. I weren't really doing much in Leeds, and I was up and down the country and smoozing like whatever and just doing shows. So I sort of took a little bit of a step back with the parties, and was focusing on the music. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird time for me, man. All of that, like my head went a little bit after that show. So because there was a lot of like. It's just weird. It was just a weird time for me. It was fun, but it was just fucking mental.
Just a lot going on.
I think there was a bit of a. I think everyone's head went a little bit, didn't they? After I think we just kicked the arse out of it for so many years, and we'd gone like that, and we were just going like that, and like we took a pretty big hit for post Ash Cloud and post a few parties, lost a bit of dough. Put a little bit of strain on our relationships.
Was
as
Ash
three
Cloud
of us
our
as well.
COVID?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Because when we started, the parties, when they got like just like organically popular, we'd have like like us, like working class lads and whatever. Then we'd have like art school kids, kids outside of Birmingham, like the cool, like it'd be like a mad mix, and then there'd be a load of rude boys, and it was like a nice mix. And then for whatever reason, it just got a little bit moody, and then we lost that. Then we lost that creative element of the crowd. And then it just got moodier and moodier, and there'd be a few little incidents you'd hear at the here and there, and we just got that big, that quick, that I think we just became a victim of it. In Birmingham, that's what happened, didn't it? We became a victim of our own success, really, and not like we said, didn't really have that guidance or that forethought to just calm down and maybe pull it back a little bit to just build it again. But
difficult, innit? Because you can't tell, and it's hindsight's a fucking fucker, innit, really?
Yeah, I think like Sam say, we just never really like. The problem was we never took it seriously, you know, until it was too late. I think was the thing, you know, it was never about like, you know, the money thing, you know. Most of the time we'd probably spent the profit of the event before we'd gone to bed, you know. So it was like, you know, so it was never really about that. And then it kind of grew really quickly, and I just don't think we were ready for it really. And
at that time, what are you thinking? Are you thinking, fuck, we're going to be doing this for years? Like, or do you think that we'll just do this till the wheels fall off?
I think we was at one point, when we, you know, we talked about like, we were really inspired by like Factory Records, you know, and that the way they did things and that DIY. We always used to watch like the documentary like all the time and stuff like that. They were a real inspiration, and so we did think we could like try and do something that was very Birmingham centric and promote Birmingham music, and I think like Sam said a bit earlier, that just didn't feel like there was the infrastructure around us or the appetite or demand for it as well, and we probably didn't know what we were doing either. So. And
we were fucking getting on it about 4 days of 7. So like we were partying a lot. We were trying we did have a sort of, there was a North Star, weren't there? But it was very, there was a lot of deviations that were fucking fun. You know, the Office was just like legendary, weren't it, man? The Barry Office, which is the Orifice, man. It was, we had some good times in there.
Do you look back and think like, you reached the North Star, but you don't know at the time, like you had it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It's not bittersweet, because that makes it sound like it was a failure, but I think it burnt so bright and then it faded. And then you look back and you're like, fuck, it could have probably been a bit more structured and had a bit more leg. A bit of money, yeah. A few more brain cells and that and whatever. But our friends as well were all fucking mental. So it weren't just us. It was like the circles we were around were we were the party goers in the party. You know, it weren't like the sober promoter in the corner. So I don't know.
There's no yin and yang. It's just pure yang.
Pure chang. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my focus at the time wasn't really Barry. And then like my bandmates were like, I love them all, but they just weren't party goers like us. So there was a bit of tension there. So I had to sort of step back a little bit. Yeah. Because the lads were like, come on, we're doing this now, sort of thing. And I just think, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun, weren't it?
Yeah. A lot of fun. And I think at the end it did like any, breakups or things that don't think, like you're a bit sore for a bit after. But I think looking back, you kind of, you definitely think like it was more good than it was bad, and we had like some amazing times and some amazing parties and made amazing friends and that, and it was like it's some of the events up and down the country, like when we did stuff in Manchester and Sheffield, like there was some great nights.
I think what's quite what's very good to look at and very encouraging as well is that you two you've done pretty well. Like, you seem like you're in good nick. You dress well. You're not like fucking in a bad way in some rehab. Do you know what I mean? You're in good nick.
We're about to, but we are both drinking 0% alcohol beers here, and a good one as well in Cherry Reds.
It just sort of shows that you can live that lifestyle and come out the other way, and come out the other end and turn it into a really positive, good.
I I think we.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, even now, like both Sam, myself, and Kieran, you know, are all in the. We're still in the community game. You know, we're in. Sam's got barbers. Like myself and Kieran are both in hospitality. So we're still like, we're still all around people all the time, and it's still about that connection and like making friends and people having a good time and a chat and all of that. So I think that was always part of it. You know, like it wasn't ever about like being, you know, like big shot promoters. It was about like getting that connection.
I feel like there's an urge with being like a party goer and being around other party people that we're just going to go and get fucked up now. Like if you just rub shoulders with someone on a Tuesday afternoon, this could get interesting. Yeah. So
Tuesdays were always dangerous, weren't they? We had a lot of business meetings on a Tuesday.
We did indeed.
But if you,
we used to call it R&D.
Yeah, a lot of Tuesday.
We used to call it R&D.
R&Ds, yeah.
Got to do a bit of research, man. I can get on the bookers at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon.
Would you say that like a lot of it come from, you know, let's say being like the party goer, like you get the creative juices flowing, and like ideas might come from that back then in terms of like, you know, we're going to put this DJ on, we're going to put loads of sand at the rainbow. Do you know what I mean? Like we're going to.
Yeah, I think
sober person would think such a thing.
Yeah, like
we wouldn't know. I think we wouldn't have known.
No.
I think that was the thing. I think everything was, you know, was party. You know, we partied pretty hard, and a lot of all the people around us. You know, like the guys at the Rainbow and stuff like that. Like it was. The scene was pretty hectic back then. And I think like it just generally was. Obviously, all the trends now, like kids don't drink anymore, do they, or party as much as they used to. And you know, I think it was you just had to kind of lean in if you were in it.
I think it's like when you look at the timeline of music and going out, it's like it's such a strange point because it can only keep going. Like sort of party, messier, more chaotic, and now it's got to a point where it's like, well, now what? Yeah. Like it can't. I think we're at a point now we're all trying to figure it out. I'm trying to work out how to do a promo piece with a running club, but running to a pub. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like it's like a mixed match of like people trying to be healthy and not going out, and then trying to collaborate it with going out.
Yeah, it's finding that balance, isn't it? Of like, you know, still, and I know, like, you know, from not drinking for a little bit, you know, at the start, it's, you know, oh, you just don't want to go out because you don't want to be tempted, but then you kind of come round to it, and then you just go out and see your mates and have a nice time, or go out and have a dance, and you can, you know, it can be done.
Going back to booze, when was like your first real like Guinness fueled era? Because I think Guinness finds you at like.
Yeah, it found me pretty early. Like my dad was big into Guinness, and made sure that I was big into Guinness pretty early on. So that was never in doubt, to be honest.
Yeah. I remember it's a pub in Digbeth, man. It's gone now, but we were in there. Remember Huey used to DJ, and we were fucking dropping a few little biscuits and that, and chugging away on the Guinness, man. And I was having Guinness and black for some unknown reason. And I just like, I remember just turning a bit funny and being very, letting it all out in the ladies' toilets, let's say. That was my first experience of Guinness in a little backstreet boozer in Digbeth.
Because I really struggled with the red stripe. I think red stripe was like big at Rainbow. Yeah. I just find it like a flat after like you get past probably 50%. I go, I can't have this. But now Guinness is in. So I'm kind of trying to collaborate both with like a Guinness and a fucking party. And it's good, but you're getting it a lot down your clothes. It's not a good fucking look.
It's not a dance floor drink.
Oh, no,
definitely not a dance floor drink. But the kids love it now, don't they? It's like fucking national shortage and all that shit. What's that about, man?
Splitting that G.
It's all about the G, yeah.
Well, we were chatting to Bobby earlier. I think because he's on the 0%, there could be a split the G 0%. There's got to be something from that. There's got to be a twist.
I did have a very, very good 0% in Norton's earlier, so big up those guys. It's very good.
Norton's is on the radar now. Yeah. That's it. Just another one I want to quickly touch on with some of the artists that you've had over the time. Like, when I look back and with some seller, my interest in music, and you've had like Toddler T, One Man, Rusco, Major Lazer, Chimpo. Maybe Chimpo's another one who'd always big you guys up. I think I might have actually met you at a gig which involved Chimpo. I think that was my first time meeting you. I think.
At the
It would have been the Mill then.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Okay, yeah. I remember it well.
Do you?
I do actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like around that period, I just think like music, especially from like the Manchester and up north, like I'd love Levels. Do you remember Levels?
Yeah, I remember Levels.
I'd always wanted to get them down here but I just don't know if that.
I think it's obviously Birmingham's just always been a risky city. You know, I think any promoter, will tell you. You know, it's a hard ticket city. It's hard to, things that will fly in a Manchester or Liverpool, Leeds, London. Like, it's not guaranteed in Birmingham. You know, you really have to. And that's why there's a real shortage of nightclubs and bars and promoters and creatives, because like it just for whatever reason just is a difficult city to promote in.
We're like that team that starts the season with like -9 points or something.
It's like, I think it's a social city, isn't it? So people just follow the crowd in Brum. It's always been that way. It's like they'll go to a venue. I hear it in the barbers. They all say they go in one place and then. I just think it's always been like, it's not been necessarily about the artists, where you go to another city, you book a DJ and like everyone's there to see the DJ, and it's not. It's just it's a bit of a mystery really, but that's what it is.
It's amazing. Like we've had so many conversations where it's like, what could it be? What could it be? And I just feel like the more you think about it now, the less you
It's the water, mate. The water's so good that people don't want to like. No one. Yeah.
Why would you get out of the bath? But I do kind of think that like transport, in terms of like getting into the city centre from any part of town now is just nuts. Like whether it's up Bristol Road, Alcester Road. Like I just don't know. I just feel like me going to Digbeth from North Brum, I'm like, that's a fucking ass. That is.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. It is a problem.
I think especially now, Digbeth's had it pretty tough last few years, hasn't it, with the road works as well, and it doesn't. I mean, the council's never been very, very helpful towards the scene in Birmingham. That's again. I think most of the people who are involved with it will tell you that. We've never been that way, have we, as a city?
What we've like, it's Wait, sorry, just to get back onto this. When did you sort of like end Bigger Than Barry, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, we kind of called it a day, didn't we? And I think there was a couple of things that carried on, and we had a couple of. I think we've had a few reunions or a few like being back, but it's gone 10 years now. I'd say.
2012.
Yeah, something like that. I think so. So
It lasted in Leeds a lot longer, didn't it?
Lasted in Leeds. Joycey carried it on a bit as well, and then I think everyone just grew out of it.
What do you? Was you still doing bits at the hair with it?
We did bits. We did one in the hair and it kicked off, didn't it? Do you remember?
I think we had a couple of they just got a bit rowdy at one point. I think
we did one as a little.
But that's what you. Surely that's in the belly of the beast, then, isn't it? Surely.
I just remember it. Getting moody at the end of one in Hair and Hounds and just thinking, this is done now. Like it's we were just always about having a good time, and it weren't about fucking that. And it for whatever reason, idiots got hold of the brand and knew, and it was just like. I think it was the crowd that killed it, which is ironic, really, because the crowd created it. The crowd was the reason why it was so fucking good, and then it killed it as well.
I had like a funny incident at the hair with Brum Tropicana where I ended up doing the door, which is like fucking. When you go up the stairs, and we only had the smaller room at the time. It was rammed, mad, like carnage, and when people try to open that one door and it's like hitting someone and all this. It was kicking off downstairs, And all I could hear was someone saying, "Yeah, but you got to let me in. You got to let me in." So I've run downstairs, and this guy's going nuts for whatever reason. Security's in front of him, and I just thought, you know what? Maybe if I say like, "Come on, mate, like, calm down. We'll get you in. Don't worry about it. It'll all be good." Calm this guy down. Within about 3 minutes, all I heard was all the lights have gone on. Fucking, the night's over at like probably about 1:30. And the guy that I'd let in was just kicking off, going absolute nuts. And he's like, oh, fuck's sake, man. Like, tried to give him...
For balance, we did have some fantastic nights.
Oh, yeah, of course.
As well. So, you know, like Adam's obviously and Matt are doing a great job at that venue. And
no, they are.
And I think, like, you know, like every kind of suburban venue, you know, like, it takes time and you know, it's just a brilliant room up there, isn't it? You know, it's just a great room to have a party. And again, we had some quality nights up there, and you know, we really liked those smaller ones because it felt like it was back. You know, when it was. You know, we kind of started with like a 200 cap room, and then you go up to like 4,000. So then going back to like 200 room, it was like it felt cozy again. You know, and it felt like you knew most of the people in the room, and the energy was there, and you could kind of speak and see everyone through the night. So
when was like the last time you DJ'd at like one of your events?
I actually DJ'd last New Year's Eve. I'm an 80s DJ now. So I've got now that's what I call 80s 4 disc, and I just play that through the night. So.
Can you wheel up 80s?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Confirmed you can.
I think the start of Take On Me, once you start bringing that in and people start to clock on, that's got to come back. I think.
Yeah, it's about. I think the 80s as a genre of music is just it's untouchable, isn't it? You know,
have you got like a top? What's like your favourite 80s tune? Would you say?
It's a really tough question, but I think like Carly Simon Y is probably in there as the one. If I only had to listen to one song ever, it might be that one.
Bit of UB40, I reckon.
Yeah.
Off the first album. I remember when you said 80s tunes then, I was just thinking about when we were in Ibiza and we were playing Eden, and I think Toddler had come off, and Jack was playing New Jack City, and me and Macca were like, play UB40, man. just play it. It'll work, man. It'll work. And he dropped. I can't remember what tune it was. It was one of the earlier ones. And it, like Kingston Town started, and the fucking crowd was just like, just literally they all just stopped. Like we absolutely cleared the dance floor. It was so fucking funny. That was hilarious. Never forget that.
Maybe there was like someone who was in like the background somewhere in the toilet going, fucking, wait a minute. What's going on? Like, it's almost like it's not real. It can't be real.
I think they'd probably turn it off by the time we made it back.
We were just dead certain it was going to fucking work. This is going to go down a tree.
I get it. I completely get it. That's like that.
Absolutely bummed, man.
That Brum energy, man. I get it. What, you know, coming towards like the end of the interview, I wanted to sort of touch on what it is that you're both doing now. So you've got your barbershop up in Selly. Was it Selly Park?
Selly Oak, yeah. Selly Park, Selly Oak. Tomato, same one. Don't matter.
So that's going pretty well.
It's doing all right, mate. Yeah, we're doing all right, man. Yeah, got another one in Warwick as well, where we did a show many moons ago, a Barry, in the uni there, and yeah, they're doing all right. Yeah,
that's good, man. Was barbering something that you learned like after the band, or was it?
It was after, yeah. Like Trauma could come to an end, and crossroads come in your life, don't they? And you're like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go and fucking sit in an office. I ain't going back to uni. I'll give this a go. My dad's a barber, so I was around it when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'll give it a crack, and I was lucky. I got into a good shop early on, and yeah, that's it really. Just cracked on with it.
What was like your first trim that you gave? Do you remember?
It was it weren't. It was a Chinese lad in London, and I absolutely butchered him. Still do, to be fair.
And then cut his hair after.
Awesome.
Yeah, mate. I'm work with Digbeth Dining Club now. We've got a couple of venues, Hockley Social Club and Herbert's Yard. You know, bringing street food to the people. You know, really enjoyed working with James and Jack for the last 6 or 7 years. You know, it feels like it's a bit of a Brummie institution, and it's really nice to still fly the flag for Birmingham and the great stuff it's doing and the impact it has on a national level.
I think what's great about both of those venues is, so what you've said, it is a cultural hub. I think when you get Hockley right, it's beautiful. Yeah. You've got people from Handsworth, Sutton, Sturchley, Solihull, whatever. Everyone comes together, and it's really it's something that I hadn't seen before, really. And everyone's just chilling, having a good time.
Yeah, but it's still got that great energy where people are having such a good time, eating great food, and there's a band comes on, and there's just all this real mix of people getting involved, and it's a beautiful thing.
I think it perfectly identifies what Brum is and what Brum really can be. It's got so much potential that you get to see it for so many people from different cultures, different races, different sexes and gender, all coming together. And I think that it's like something that a lot of venues should really probably look up to as well. So I think it's a great spot.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, man. Tom, how are we doing for time? Oh, shit, man.
That was the crescendo as well.
It probably was, yeah.
Sing Waterboys again.
We'll do Water. Oh yeah. Oh, can we tell them the Diesel Radio story, please? We did Diesel Radio, and we redlined Waterboys at Diesel Radio. Whilst singing the wrong words. Friends having it was just anyway. Diesel Radio was a thing, and then we did a show, and it was no longer a thing.
The next day, it's been boarded up.
I was going to say something else. I forgot. Oh yeah, big up all the bigger than Barry babies, man. There's a lot of children being born off the back of that party,
yeah.
So yeah.
Dad life, man. We need to quickly touch on dad life as well. You guys are flying the dad flag. Pretty
full dad now, yeah. Full dad. I should be in bed now. Fucking, it's really late.
Oh yeah. This is you writ off now till Sunday.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Baraka's in the morning.
We've missed bedtime for this, so thank you. Thank you very much. We'll pay tomorrow though, don't worry. We'll be doing the get up.
We've dad life. What has that given you now? Because does that give you a new burst of energy, which
energy's definitely not the right word. But obviously purpose. I think it gives you that. It's a purpose of what you're doing it all for, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
And it's and I think it's that nice thing of because life is stressful, work's stressful. Everything has got its elements, and kids are stressful. Don't get me wrong, but when you go home and you see them, it's brilliant. So
it's just something that I find interesting now because I'm getting.
Oh yeah, is it?
Well, I'm 33 soon, and you've got to start knuckling down a bit. So you guys are great examples of people who have done what I've been doing, and you've come out and you're doing live.
Yeah, took a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjusting when my daughter was born 6 years ago. Losing that your social life is over in a fucking heartbeat as soon as they're out. So there was a lot of adjusting then, getting used to that, not going out, and when you were going out, the fucking hangovers are hell.
Yeah.
Because you don't get a rest, man. You don't get to mong out on a sofa for a day. So yeah, but you get all these little amazing little moments, like Bob said. It's it's a very wholesome life now.
Yeah.
Your life is very wholesome. You're not in a kitchen at 4 a.m. putting the world's right.
And you don't crave that either. You don't crave that because you know that's going to hurt too much tomorrow.
Yeah.
So being out past it, I mean, this is going to hurt tomorrow. But that certainly would. I think I've had a couple of hangovers, and I don't think I'll be having any more in the run.
Is that what happens now?
You are in the kitchen at 4 a.m. fucking sorting other things out, it's a different reason. So yeah, but it's beautiful. Having kids is like Bob said, hard but fantastic.
It's really refreshing for me to hear because I feel like the people that I know, not you guys, are older than you guys. So I don't know the in between. I feel like you're a nice in between to sort of see doing that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
No, I don't know.
Thanks,
Is that
mate.
bad? Is that bad? Like, you've got a few years on me is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, right, all right. You've said it.
There's a bit of snow on the mountain.
Have you saw these already, man? I'm going to be fucked, I am. I'm in big trouble, man.
Distinguished, mate.
Right, then I think we should wrap it up.
Cheers, George.
Thank you for coming down, man. Like, I've really, really appreciate it.
Cheers, yours.
Nice one,
Cheers.
lads.